Minutes. Secretary.
All right, we have quorum. It's 9 a.m. I think we should go around and do introductions.
Okay, my name is William Connors. I'm the vice president, just elected here. So I'm filling in for the president, Gary Hughes, who usually runs the meeting. But that would be good. Let's just go around. We have a brand new member. Introduce yourself when you come to you. So Bill Connors, Albany County.
Mark Castiglione, Chief Administrator. Nice to meet you.
Luke Jacobs with the other youth vice president of the Action Prevention.
Craig Warner's Toga County.
Ray Wilcox, facility director, Together for Youth / District Security.
Laura Bauer, Rensselaer County.
Sheila Moses, Schenectady County.
Amy Weinstock, CDYCI.
And I'm Sue Costanza from Saratoga County.
And on the line, we have
Hello, Maura Manning, Commissioner, Albany County Department for Children, Youth and Families.
Bob Ryan, who's our counsel,
Yep, Harris Beach, America.
and Jasmine Higgins from Albany County, who has the flu, unfortunately.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Sorry about that. Figured I wouldn't try and get you all sick.
Appreciate that and feel better.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Does everyone have a packet?
Mhm.
Okay. Let's get right to our agenda. We, on our agenda, roll call and introduction, completed, and, number 2, approval of December 18th, minutes. So moved
Second.
on the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. Agenda number 3, financial statements, December 31st. Through December 31st, 2024, Mark.
Sure, quarter 3, billings, were sent out, and today, this morning, the final wire for those payments have been sent to Together for Youth. We're waiting for Together for Youth financials for the full year to submit to rate setting so we can issue the quarter 4 bills. We're tracking through November at just about under 70% to budget, and the estimated total expenses for secure detention are about $5.3 million. On the specialized secure detention side, we're at about 65% to budget, and total estimated expenses just over $8 million for the year. We continue to try to improve our billing so that Together for Youth doesn't have to float so much money. But I think, we're kind of, after a couple of years of this, we've dialed it in. So Amy sort of gets ahead of it at the immediate close of the quarter. We start communicating with the counties to make sure, and Together for Youth to make sure the records are right, so we can submit to rate setting. By the time Together for Youth, I'd still want to play Berkshire.
Me too.
By the time they send us their financials, we're ready to go to some of the bills. Then we'll need a motion to approve the financial statements.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. And that is our last action item for voting. So the rest of the agenda will probably refer to Mark and for questions. Number 4, facility use memo 24-2002.
Sure, facility use, total of just over 7,300 bed days were used in the facility in 2024. I've attached the quarter 4 and full year facility uses, line share. Obviously, Albany County, Schenectady, and Rensselaer are head to head. So Albany County's used 45% of the bed days, and Schenectady and Rensselaer about 20% apiece, 12% were out of county, and only 3% were Saratoga County. And we've been pretty much full for the entire year.
We are full today.
So for our new member, if you want So our current capacity is what,
24 currently,
and we're gonna increase to how many?
39.
39. It's really. That's thing. Do we anticipate a lot of opportunity for other counties wanting to use
We
it?
still get lots of calls
A
every
lot of
day.
calls, okay.
They'll be full.
Oh, yeah.
And
ourselves already.
Luke, when we go to new beds, we're gonna revert to having female beds available.
We are, and we're gonna have a little more discretion on female beds with the way the dorms are set up. We'll be able to increase if needed. So we're excited about that.
One of the things that we will need to present to our stakeholders back at the counties is we'll need to recalibrate our reserve beds. So a little history for your benefit, Vera.
Thank you.
The counties have a intermunicipal agreement that specifies that, you know, you will have oversight of the facility, that they share costs for operations and, you know, construction improvement projects. And that percentage cost share is determined by the amount of reserve beds. So reserve beds, there are 24 now. And there's Albany County reserves, I think, something like 10, and the other counties reserve 2 or 3 or whatever. And that just establishes the ratio that each county, their cost share. So when we go to 39 beds, we'll have to recalibrate that cost share ratio in the reserve beds.
Makes sense.
So I'll draft a proposal for the counties. I'll likely just take the existing ratio and adjust it to be 39 beds total. And then see if anybody complains at the counties.
So Mark, our average rate, I know you gave me those figures last quarter, about $1,500 a day for JD. The specialized secure is like 21 or 22.
Mhm.
We anticipate much varying on that in events.
It really depends on the census. More beds and more use will result in a lower per bed day cost. Because it's simply, we just divide the number of bed days, we just divide the cost by the number of bed days. So if you have more potential bed days, likely the cost will go down.
So the expenses from families together these last 6 months have been pretty average. We expect those expenses to be consistent with personnel going into next year, so it should be reduction overall.
Well, you're still ramping up personnel.
We still are hiring personnel. We still have quite a few staff to hire, you know, we've been pretty hard. And Ray's been doing a great job interviewing. They're having 20 interviews a week. We're getting people in there, but yes, it's gonna go higher. I mean, there's gonna be additional things like food costs and things like that with more needs in them, so.
Right, so this year's budget, we just did the financial, so we're tracking just under 70% total per year to the year. And that 30% is essentially the delta for the additional costs that they're anticipating. For operating at 39 beds.
A lot of the staff for the ramp up have already been brought on, you know, we're prepared.
Very good. Any additional questions on that? Thank you, everyone. All right, so really good stuff now. RTA capital project update.
Yeah, well,
24-03.
we've made progress since we met in December, but the latest reports from the architect and the construction manager are attached. We turned over Pod C back in, what was that, October? And that continues to operate, still making good progress on dorms A and B. I believe all the demo in both the A and B pods have been complete and construction is proceeding as scheduled. And we're still on track, hopefully for a March completion date for substantial completion of the project. Included in your packet, I did share a memo that I wrote to OCFS and SCOC, just notifying them that one of the prime contractors discovered some vermiculite in the facility, in the area of the kitchen area while they're doing a penetration through the wall. So New York State requires that to be treated as asbestos, and a firm was hired, and I think they shop vacked it up, right?
They did their full abatement, and it never impacted our youth or our staff. They were never in that kitchen area. All our food was brought in, so everybody was safe.
What's interesting about vermiculite is that the EPA does not categorize it as having asbestos in it, but New York State does.
What was the quantity that was signed?
Small amount, they said less than a half a gallon. But it, you know, where they appreciate it better.
That's good.
Yes.
So that consists of a hazmat cleaner thing?
Yeah, so the thing with vermiculite is that while the vermiculite, the content of asbestos is usually less than 1% or 0.1%, there's no way to test it for the quantity of asbestos. So New York State says you have to treat it as asbestos.
And this, our vendor is able to do that, we have to hire another vendor.
No, we had to hire a special abatement company to come in and clean it up. Any other things to add from the facilities perspective on the construction? How it's going, impacting facility?
No, staff has been, adjusting, we hung up a lot of signs, and they're not allowed in that area anyway due to the previous construction, so no issues right now.
Okay. Any questions from the members? Look, everyone's looking forward to this being over.
What is the anticipated?
So the anticipated timeline is March. So we were aiming for March first. That might have slipped a little bit because the contractors were not able to work in the kitchen area for the past couple of weeks because of that vermiculite issue, but they're trying to find some savings of time, so we continue to stay on that deadline. There may be some additional items like furniture that will come in after the March date, but we'll cross that bridge as we get there. We should think about the shape of any type of event that we would want to do to mark the completion of the substantial renovations in the facility. Now, it's not something you generally want to celebrate, bringing more beds to incarcerate youth, but it is a milestone that I think, we should all, celebrate in some way, or at least acknowledge that the partnership of the counties here has really resulted in a better facility for the youth, and many more amenities and, a lot of other good things that have happened as a result of the project. So just something to think about.
I think that's a plan for after the fence.
Yes, after the fence is done.
Well, comes out to party and jump the fence.
Well, the fence is not pretty right now, but it's gonna be much prettier. But that could be a little bit extra time.
Because, it's a huge milestone, there's no question about it, yeah. And it is positive overall, and I think that you should approach it that way. Considering all the other issues, that was huge.
Yeah.
And you oughta learn about it, I think anyways.
January 28th will be the 2-year mark. We've been doing this, but.
Well, whoever thought it would even happen, so.
I know.
It was like the Depression and going into World War II.
Yeah.
It's like you had COVID and then we had the construction
Yeah.
project.
There's no perfect outcome.
Luke, what are you gonna do when it's over?
Gonna run a facility.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna do.
Well, I want to thank you, Luke, and the whole staff. It was
Like I was telling Mark, a large majority of our staff, they're newer, they've never not worked in construction. So for them to work in a non-constructed
Yeah.
building is gonna be really cool, because they've always been in construction.
just the whole process was, from pod to pod and close this down and open this up and it is.
Like you're saying, Natasha, we're not celebrating until it's all.
Yeah.
It's all paid, because you never know.
Mark.
what
Yeah,
comes up.
Thank you. Any additional, discussion on the capital project? Okay, next item, education update. I think everyone recalls, we had lost Colony. South Colony as our provider, and we're trying to, the BOCES, so there's been some couple issues.
Yeah, I mean, we engaged BOCES middle of last year to replace South Colony. Berkshire has hired an administrator for the education program, but BOCES continues to have challenges recruiting teachers. A plan B, which was discussed at previous meetings, includes virtual learning opportunities with laptops. You want to just walk us
Sure.
through that?
So we have laptops for all of our kids, and we have partnered and contracted with, they're called Edgenuity. They're an online platform and resource for schooling. It was actually recommended by BOCES. They utilize it across the state with their kids. So we are utilizing that now. All our kids are receiving that. We have a great educational program. Ray and his staff have developed a great program there. We also had a big move forward on Monday this week. I was able to meet with the South Colony Superintendent's Office, and they are working out to take care of all of approving our credit recovery, our future diplomas and Regents exams. So they want to stay taking that on. So we have a few things to work through on that. And then they have a few things they have to work through on their end, but they're very positive that we can move forward with that. And hopefully by the middle of March, we will have a plan in place so that we can start credit recovery and then June move on to providing resources for our kids back in without a break.
So what you're saying is, yeah, process is separate from BOCES.
It is because BOCES is not technically a public school, so they can't award credits or diplomas the way that they're working with us. We needed a school district, and I want to thank Jim Backus, and he's currently with South County. He did assist us putting people in contact and kind of laying the foundation. And so we met this week, and it's very positive. But with South County, I want to give them credit for wanting to continue to assist us. Yes, it is. It's a big load off of our minds that now our kids can still get credits and their Regents exams.
Any questions?
Okay, thank you. Memo 2405, minimum standards evaluation. Mark?
This has been an ongoing process for about a year. It's kind of like a ping pong match. Letters going back and forth, but it appears that the lion's share of the issues that SCOC had with the facility have been addressed, and those items have been closed. There are just a couple items that remain open pending a live inspection. Do you know if that inspection has happened?
I do not believe that they have come back for their second look. You'll see just the things that are in place, but they want to come and see them happen. But this is actually only the first part. There will be additional standards that they take their time to go through the standards because nobody has gone through them all. So we are going through them, but yeah, we've done a great job getting through. We're excited to even move forward with it. And it's helped us build a better program working with these standards.
Thanks, Luke.
Any questions on that memo? Thank you. Facility operation, together for youth, point out.
Yeah, so as we mentioned last time, we, 3 classes that we have with the education program, we were able to move them in there. So we're doing education for half of the day on the dorm, half of the day in the classrooms. This past Monday, we just switched it to full days in the classroom. And it's just made a big difference. The environment of the classroom, with the kids being in there versus being on the dorm has made a big improvement. The other thing that's helping our program right now, we're bringing in a lot of outside resources. We're covering gang prevention. I know last night we had Planned Parenthood that was in there. Haven't heard anything, so I'm assuming it went well. And we also have our full-time nurses and our per diem nurses participating in groups throughout the week. So it's going good. It's real productive. We're seeing less behaviors on the dorms, so that's a plus. And just to be able to connect them with the outside resources has been a plus in our facility. So we want to keep that going.
And there are several other resources we are bringing in. We have a therapeutic music program that's going to be coming in. And did that start?
Yep, we have they just started last week. They are, I believe, going to be here tomorrow. We also have, for those that are coming for the visit today, we have a art project that we're working on. So they started it in the long hallway, and it just takes away that stigma of the jail-like facility. You'll see it's halfway done, but the kids were able to work with the professionals, the artists, and input certain things like positive feedback, family life and survival, things like that. And it's all implemented into the artwork. So it's halfway done. They've been working with the kids. They worked with them online and then they came in person. So they're going to finish it up by the end of the month. And it's looking really nice.
Good.
Yeah, and these are two artists, Boogie and Rez from New York City. They do mural art throughout the city. And we were able to, our grants department worked with them and they got really interested in the program. So they were just gonna do a small mural, but now they're doing both sides of the
That's
25-foot hallway. So it's gonna be really cool. We're looking forward to unveiling that to everybody. It's great for the kids because they were part of the design.
Are you guys still partnered with the New York State Writers Institute?
We are not currently working with
Okay.
that. We're exploring a whole, there's just been a resurgence in wanting programming for the kids because we're seeing it well. So we are working with a lot of different people in the outside, and that may come back.
Okay.
But we have a spoken word thing called Pongo that we're looking at getting training for in April, which is a whole series of spoken word poetry and trauma work that we are looking to get underway as well. Training our own staff and being able to continue to offer that. So
good.
A lot of things coming up on the programming aspect, and local gentleman is also going to be writing classes. He's lived experience, he's been through the system and he's come out and he's been very successable and he's providing it as well.
Yeah, his name is Trent Griffin. He's very known in the community. He has a curriculum that it's like nonstop. I think it's like 20 something weeks. It's in steps. Things like the first one is 6 weeks, then you take a little break, debrief with the staff, with the kids, and then you start back up again. And it's just covers a lot of different areas. The kids met him last week. He met with the staff, so it's just got positive feedback from that. So I'm looking forward to that.
Good.
So programming is going to be our focus. Yeah.
Thank you, Larry. Do we have any other business?
No other business. I just would like to mention that the board authorized up to $300,000 for furniture, fixtures, and equipment to replace the classroom furniture and to stand up BOCES as the operator. There's an outside chance I might need to, we allocated, I think, about $264,000 to DASNY to purchase the furniture and equipment. I may need to tap into some more of the authorized money to buy lounge chairs for the dorms. But we're pricing those right now, and I don't think it's going to, I hope we can stay within our existing budget, but there's an outside chance I may need to allocate an additional $5,000 or $10,000 to cover that expense.
Thank you. Mark, were we moving our meeting April to the facility?
Remains to be seen. We have to see, if we're actually complete and there's going to be enough parking, but I would hope we could meet at the facility at some point.
Okay, so in your invitation, we'll know that.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else for today's meeting?
I have nothing.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
Make it one.
Second.
Motion approved. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you.